Well, who's that? Do you remember Kelly when I first started? It's video number 2. I'll put a link up there. Kelly started with me. This is Linda. Linda is Kelly's sister.
This is Uncle Mike.
Linda's my goddaughter. And this is Anthony right here. Hello. So I got here to DC and they schlepped me around for the day. We went to church. We went out to get something to eat.
Dinner.
We saw the lights at the zoo. I'll put some pictures of the lights right here so you can see that. So nice seeing you.
Good to see you.
She might pick
Christmas.
me up at the end, but then she might flake out. So who knows?
Might walk a little bit.
Oh, she might walk with me at the end. All right.
We'll see.
And you might see Kelly again too. So, all right. Bye bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye bye. All right, see you. So I took a couple days off here in DC. You can see, where can you see it? You can see somebody's house right there that you might know. And there's the National Christmas tree right there. There you go. And you can see it in the background there, the Washington Monument. Lincoln's Monument's over there, and then the Capitol's over that way. So I'm just going to head down to Lincoln's Monument and then head up to the Capitol and head out of town. You know, with all the hullabaloo that's going on, I was on both sides of the White House here, and there's no demonstrations, no people yelling or anything like that. And so let's see what happens over at the Capitol. Maybe that's where all the hullabaloo is going on. If you've not been to Washington, D.C., the Washington Monument is actually a good place to get the perspective and the layout of the town. I'll show you that in a second here. But up here on the hill of the monument, you've got, let's go over this way first. Down that way you've got the Lincoln Memorial, and then over here this way is the White House right there in the distance. And why isn't my zoom working? I'd zoom in so you can see it. But it's right there. And then come up and over the hill here, and then off in the distance there is the Capitol building. Right there. And then so this would be the National, looking that way. Smithsonian and museums are on the right, other museums on the left. So coming to Washington, D.C., come to the Washington Memorial, get your perspective, and then do your thing. Just by coincidence, I think. That's funny. Well, I see the reflecting pool is dry. I guess there's not much reflecting going on. Hey, wait. Shh. Do you hear them? Yeah, they're yelling at each other. Say, over here on the left side, that's the Senate side of the building. And then over here on the right side, that's the House of Representatives. Alright, continue to make our way. Well, longer know that I'm still in Washington, D.C., but I'm still in Washington, D.C. This is actually called Anacostia Park. It follows along the Anacostia River. For those of you that are familiar with the American Discovery Trail route through Washington, D.C., I actually took a detour today, and as you saw, I went through the middle part through the National Mall and all that. The ADT trail actually from Georgetown goes up through Rock Creek Park and actually goes around the northwest portion of Washington, D.C. and then wraps around back this way. So I went through the mall, and so I'll eventually catch back up with the true ADT route in a few miles. That'll be tomorrow. For now, I'm just kind of looking for a place to camp, although my better judgment says I better look for a place inside somewhere. It's supposed to be with the wind and the temperature is supposed to be a 9-degree wind chill factor tonight. And the wind's not supposed to be dying down this evening like it usually does. It's going to be about 14 or 15, so I may head on inside somewhere, but we'll see. So anyway, Anacostia Park. If you're traveling through on the ADT in a normal temperature period, probably there's a lot of good stealth camping opportunities here, even though you're technically not supposed to be camping here, I think. And then, of course, Greenbelt Park, which is just real close by. That would be a natural place to camp, and it's legal, but Greenbelt Park is closed for repairs until next spring. So here's New York Avenue. It's also Highway 50. I'm on on the eastern side of DC. This is going to be my stealth camp tonight, but I think I don't need any more character building right now. A 9-degree 9-degree wind chill temperature tonight, and it's really starting to drop right now. So instead of building some character, I'm gonna get soft and lazy tonight, stay in a little motel just about 2.5 miles up this way, and then head out tomorrow. I like these short days now. It's only about 11 miles average that I have to do on the rest of the trip, which is kind of nice. I can take my time, but anyway, be soft and lazy tonight. Well, walking through these residential neighborhoods in Hyattsville, getting back down to a trail. It's a good thing I stayed in last night instead of outside. That wind was really going pretty good, and with the 18-degree temperature, the wind chill was, I'm thinking it was less than 9 degrees. That would have been about the limit of the equipment I have, so it's good thing. And also too, there's no water here, but in the gutters just up the street, it's almost noon, and the water in the gutters is still frozen. Tonight, actually, I don't have to sleep outside either. John is going to pick me up. Who's John? He's the guy that's been giving me some trail data. He's overlaid a whole bunch of information on the actual American Discovery Trail route, and it's been really helpful. It's shown information like points of interest, places to stay, places to eat, resupply, all that sort of thing. And also too, it he actually did route checks to make sure that the ADT data was still accurate. In most cases it was, but there were a few places where the ADT data was either outdated or things changed on the ground. So he's been really helpful. And for those of you who are traveling eastbound, but I think he can do it for westbound as well. I think he'll be able to do it for you. If you just look him up on the ADT webpage, John Wesley Brett. And he does require that you show proof of purchasing the ADT, the American Discovery Trail GPX tracks from them, because he's not in the business to take away their income, but to value add it. All right. It's about 23 or 27 right now. See, take a look at this. So froze in the middle of the day. Oops. I think it's still only about 27, 28 degrees right now at noon. Oh, look at this. Maybe I could have come here last night instead. All right, down that way. Hey, you guys didn't make it very far south. Unless maybe you were way up in the way up north. Then I guess you did, huh? It's all relative, I guess, huh? 20 versus minus 20 up there. Yeah. And just like this, we're out of the urban jungle, in a sense. Except for this, of course. This has been a nice little park that I've been walking through, or I should say, I guess, a nice big park. Riverdale Community Park, near Edmondson, Maryland, not too far from College Park. In fact, I'll be going by the College Park Airport. Uh-oh, road closed ahead. Maybe I won't be. Let's see what happens. And here's where the detour is taking me. A nice construction zone on the University of Maryland campus. So I'll get to walk around some sidewalks for a while until I get to Beltsville. This is really feeling weird, you know. This whole trip being just about all rural. And then bam, getting hit here towards the end. There's one section towards the end with all the urban stuff in DC and these suburbs here. I think it'll be nice getting back in over the bridge there, the Chesapeake Bridge, over in eastern Maryland, and then into the shore there at Lewis at the end, back to the rural stuff, the nice quiet, slower lifestyle. Well, that was interesting. I was just crossing the road here. Gonna look at that sign there. Oh, I didn't look at the other side. And this lady pulls up, said, "Hey, where are you hiking from? Going to?" So I told her the story, and ends up she's a long distance hiker as well. She's done the AT and stuff. Her name's Eileen. So Eileen, it was nice chatting with you. Her trail name is Ever Ready To. How'd she get that? Well, because she's always ready to get up and get going. So nice meeting you, Eileen, and maybe we'll see each other either on the trail again someday. Well, besides nice Eileen there, Ever Ready, you can tell that you're back in the urban environment when it can be just the two of you walking right here. Even though I wave at people or say hi to them, they look down, straight ahead, don't say anything. Now they've been mostly younger, but still. Just like back in Southern California, you can be sitting at a stoplight and two people just walking in the crosswalk, and you can watch them. And they'll pass by each other just looking straight ahead or walking down, not say anything at each other. Now, in my case, yeah, it probably does have something to do with my scary looks. You know, there's that homeless bum. He's going to ask me for money. So don't worry, people. I'm not going to ask you for money. I'm nice. You can say hello to me. Nobody around. All right. Let's go to Starbucks and see if they say hello to me. That's where I'm going to meet John. He's going to pick me up from there. Hey, boy. Well, good morning. Who's this guy? That's John. John found me just over there at a place called Starbucks. What was that place called?
Beltsville.
Beltsville, okay.
Just north of Greenbelt.
Just north of Beltsville, just north of Greenbelt.
Yeah.
And he's the guy I told you about who's been giving me data and stuff, showing me where I can eat and stay and stuff like that on the trail. So thank you very much, John.
Oh, you're welcome, Mike. It's been a pleasure virtually going with you.
Virtually, all right. And also say thank you to Kelly.
Hello.
Hello. Kelly is here. I'm going to turn the camera around and no. She doesn't want to be photographed right now. She doesn't have her finest.
It's early in the morning right now.
So thank you, John and Kelly.
Hey,
Our
Mike,
pleasure.
Our pleasure.
All right. Hey, look at that. There's another one of those. Can you see that? Huh. Old payphone. Haven't showed you that one back in West Virginia. Where was I? Is it Stillwater? No. I forget. But it's nice this morning to be on this little stretch of road that's kind of rural-ish after getting out of the hustle and bustle of the suburbs over there. So I'm just in Beltsville. You know, I've realized that it's being in this urban environment, suburban environment with all this traffic, how I've my skills at watching for traffic as I cross the streets and stuff has gotten a little rusty these past few months, where I haven't had to really do that. So be careful, don't get squished in the last 125 miles before the end. This, by the way, is I guess it's not rural, so to speak, but it's the U.S. Department of Agricultural Research Center. I just passed a sign there, so I guess this is their land. This land is their land, this land is my land. I'm gonna walk on it. Oh, and one other thing today too,
This
somewhere
land
along
is
here,
your land, and this land is my land.
I've been told is the
California,
Secret Service Training Academy.
from the redwood forest
And I also understand too, it's not, there's no sign posted in front of it, it's
this
just
land was made
an address. I wonder if I get to it and I happen to recognize that that's what it is. If I just stand out front and take some videos and some photos and just kind of loiter around for 2 or 3 minutes, if they'll send out the helicopters and the cars to come and see what I'm doing. I'll let you know. From behind bars tonight. All right, so I was just walking by here, minding my own business, and I came across that address. So what's so special about that? Restricted area. And what's so special about that? Got all those barriers over there. Guard shack. Big sprawling facility. Guess what? It's the Secret Service training facility. So now that I've been standing out here for a few minutes trying to figure out what it is, and besides the guard shack, and I'm sure they've got cameras all, oh look, there's one right over there. You know, the funny thing is, it's unmarked out here on the street, but if you look at it on the maps, there it is, United States Secret Service training facility. So that's what I'm walking along here, and I think it spans both sides of the road, I think, too. So if the next video you get is behind bars, you know what happened. But I can say there wasn't a sign saying no photos, so I got that in my favor, right? Let's see if the black cars start driving back and forth, checking me out. I sound like a conspiracy theorist, don't I? Oh look, there's a UFO! No. And you see that I'm out here all in these open woods. Nothing around. Although there is something hidden right there. But anyway, look at that sign. Open woods. But I'm under video surveillance. Cheese! Wave to him. Yeah. Alright, enough of this. I still have 12 miles to go. Maybe 11. Let's get a move on. I'm getting into Bowie, Maryland, or Bowie, however they pronounce it. Look at these houses here, huh? Just turned off that little country road, then bam, walked into this neighborhood. If I had an address, I'd ask you to look it up and see what it's worth. Oh, 11605. Anybody up to it? Looking this up? 11605 Ducketville Road, Bowie, Maryland. What do you think it's worth? It's not for sale, but you can look it up on Realtor.com or Zillow, and I think they'll give you a suggested value. 11605 Ducketville. I'm pretty sure. Starts with a D. I take that back. It's Ducketttown. Ducketttown Road. 11605 Ducketttown Road, Bowie, Maryland. Well, I just stopped down there in Old Town Bowie. Realized I didn't take any pictures, but I did find a little bit of information about Bowie. Originally started in the 1800s, was known as Huntington City. And then there was a railroad line that came through there. And then the guy who was to eventually become the governor of Maryland, Odin Bowie, and by the way, it's pronounced Bowie, not Bowie. Odin Bowie, he owned a railroad. How about that? You know, you own a railroad. And he extended his line, I think, down to this place called Huntington City. And then he eventually sold his railroad to the to a Pennsylvania railroad line. I don't know if it was Penn Central or what. And in Penn Central, then the Pennsylvania line, they built a main line through this area, which caused a great big boom in business and prosperity and stuff. And so eventually, I guess after Odin Bowie became governor, or after he was done serving, the Huntington City decided to rename their town. They called it Bowie. And then, as an aside, there was also another city in Maryland that was named something else, and they liked this Odin Bowie, this governor Odin Bowie so much that they named their town Odenton, renamed their town Odenton. So that's a little bit of history on Bowie, Maryland. And oh, the other thing too I learned is it's the fifth largest city in Maryland. You know, it's less than 100,000 people. So that kind of gives you some perspective of the sizes of towns around here. Okay, so now I'm going to decide if I want to build some character tonight again. And that is sleeping out in the 20-degree temperature tonight with a little bit of wind. Or do I want to be warm and lazy and find a motel? Let me think about that one. Traffic. It's just before rush hour. See if we can time this truck just right. Alright, I did it. Yeah, I just found out something today. There's actually a trail / bike path that goes from northeastern Maine all the way down to the Florida Keys. It's called the East Coast Greenway. And why do I tell you all about this? Because I'm on it right now. How about that? I've got myself on another long trail. All right. East Coast Greenway. I'll put a map up here so you can see it. I guess parts of it are dedicated hiking or biking trails, like this part here right now, and then there's gaps in it where you got to do some road walking, like I just did about the last hour or so. But pretty neato cabito. Well, I'm still in Bowie, although this is the newer part of Bowie. But, oh wow. Busy, 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 go, go, go. Hurry up, get here, get there. I don't know. When I'm done, am I going to go back to this or not? Wow. You know, after, 9.5 months or so of relative peace and calm, this is kind of overwhelming, actually. I don't know what to think. Help! Okay, I'm going to be warm and lazy tonight instead of character building. But I want to show you this. Would you expect to see a Hawaii license plate in Maryland? How about that, huh? Aloha. There. Okay, so like I said, you know, I'm not doing any character building tonight out in the 22 degrees tonight?
Yep. Yeah.
So forget that. So Charlene and Wan said, oops, over here, come to our hotel and you can have a nice warm room and a nice warm soft bed, and so that's what I'm doing. Oh, and a good breakfast, that's right. Before I go all the way to Annapolis, what, 9 miles to Annapolis tomorrow? So yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys.
Welcome to Bowie.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning. I think this is called the Governor Bridge. This is the Patuxent River. And you can see a lot of graffiti on here. Just came from here. The road is closed about a quarter mile back from where I came. And apparently it's because there's been a significant amount of flooding that's come across the low point on the road there. But the road is easily walkable, and there's no debris or anything. Oh, look at this. Ooh. There's no significant debris on the on the road that keeps you from walking it. And you can see though that this road has obviously been closed for quite some time. So I'll go up ahead this way and see see if it's good. Looks like it is, so there you go. Looks like I've successfully maneuvered another roadblock. And just like this, I'm out of the city, sort of, and into the countryside a little bit. And they're not bothering with me. Hello there. Oh, you're gonna come and see me? Hi. How you doing, huh? How you doing? You doing good? Yeah. You're on Candid Camera. Okie dokie. Alrighty. I gotta get on my way. I'll see you later. Oh, here comes this guy too. Now this is kind of the most interesting cemetery or graveyard that I've come across so far. Look, we're on a busy street here. This is in West Annapolis, but we're on this busy street, and it's kind of a triangle of land. And here's this graveyard, just right in the middle of it all. Huh. And the other thing too is that this is already the second one I've passed. And there's more up ahead. So, historic Annapolis. And by the way, I'm off the trail here. The trail actually went north of the mall. Oh no, I think I just joined back to it. The trail actually went north of the mall there and came back this way, and I took the scenic route. Today I'm crossing the bridge. What do you know? Somebody is going to give me a ride across the bridge a day early. So when I get to the other side, I don't know if I'll take a day off early, because it'll be Christmas in a couple days. Across the street without getting run over here. So anyway, crossing the bridge today, there was another milestone. ECG, you know what that is? That's the East Coast Greenway. I've kind of been hopscotching it here the past couple days or so. And that's the one I told you about that goes down from Maine all the way down to Key West. You know, maybe I'll just, maybe when I get to the beach here at the end, I'll just turn right and go to Florida. Who knows, huh? Walk the East Coast Greenway. Yeah, I came across this. It's pretty interesting. This is how, in this area, they're trying to keep the Chesapeake Bay pollution-free. So what they're doing when they're doing new development and stuff, or voluntarily, homes and businesses are doing their things, is they'll do special plantings as little buffers. They'll do the dirt with a mixture of sand and rocks and pebbles, things like that, and then they'll plant it with natural vegetation, grasses and things. And then what happens is when the rain hits, or any of the water comes here, it comes into these little planters, or as you can see even here, when they do like potted type of plants as well. And the combination of the dirt causing a microbial reaction to break down the petroleums and stuff, and the plants breaking down the phosphoric and nitrogenic pollutants, helps then to purify any runoff that continues on, and it keeps the Chesapeake Bay at least less polluted. Pretty clever. This is always a sobering feeling to walk by a veteran cemetery. Yeah, you know, walking by the civilian cemeteries and graveyards, it's in and of itself, it always reminds you of our mortality and the temporariness, if you want to use that word, of life. But even more so when you think about those who fought for a cause, right? Fought for our cause and made that sacrifice. The interesting thing about the Civil War is that, and most of these guys, well, I think a lot of these graves are Civil War graves, but you know, at the Civil War there were 700,000 deaths. That was 2% of the American population. And so, you know, the country didn't really think about that, didn't have to do anything about that, so they promulgated a law real quickly to establish cemeteries for fallen soldiers. And most of the time before that law was passed, you know, the soldiers were buried where they died on the battlefield, and so it was up to the new cemetery administration once the war was over to go collect those buried bodies from the various places and inter them into the new national cemeteries that were established. Now, some of those national cemeteries were established in some of the battlefield areas, but a lot of them were, a lot of those buried soldiers were in places that were in far-flung places, so they just transferred them over to these national cemeteries. Yeah. War and death, huh? Hey, I'm in a car here. Look at this. I was this lady here. She thought I was wandering around aimlessly, without a purpose, lonely and lost. And so say hi, Denise. Denise.
Hi.